20 listings, 15 sales, 150 grand a year. I don't know why you guys think this is a lot of money. Let's do the math on this. 150, you have taxes, don't you? About 50 grand, now you got 100. You got business expenses, don't you? 20, 30 grand, now you're at 70. Rent, or your mortgage payment, car payment, you wanna take one nice trip a year, how much money's left over? Zero! And no government can help you with that. You have to earn your way out of it. So if I go on 100 listing appointments, I take 85, that's, oh my God, look at the difference. 80 listings, 70 sales, $700,000. Same appointments, same time. What's the difference? Skills, bro. Write this down. Skills pay the bills. Amateurs practice until they can get it right. Professionals practice until they can't get it wrong. I should be able to wake you up in the middle of the night and be like, bro, give me your listing presentation. And you're like, hi, my name is Aaron, and I really appreciate the opportunity to be here. And you just run right into it. Or I should be able to bump into you in the hallway and be like, hey, your commission's too high. No hesitation. Not like, ha, 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 oh, I'm not ready. Let me get back to YouTube and shit. Boom, you go right into it. Because guys, these conversations are worth 10, 15, 20,000 bucks. It's immature to not be prepared. Right? So, the listing presentation. There's 3 separate sections of the listing presentation. From the time you hit the door till the time you start to talk about price. Then there's the pricing portion of the listing presentation. Then there's handling objections and closing. Okay? It's a map. You just follow it. Now, I'm curious. Let's say you got on a plane and the pilot said, you know what? We're not going to go with the checklist today. We're just going to wing it. Would you get on that plane? Nope. No. Imagine you went to a surgeon. Surgeon has a checklist. They're like, you know what? We're just going to bypass the checklist today. I got this shit. I'm just going to wing it. Would you be okay with that? Why are you guys okay with going on listing presentations and winging it? It's the same thing, right? And people are going to say yes. It typically takes 7 no's before somebody says yes. And somebody's going to be in control. I want it to be me. So what do I mean by that? How do we incorporate this into the first section? So if you're taking notes, put like from the time I hit the door till the time I start to talk about price. Okay? From the time I hit the door, time I start talking about price. So the moment that you hit the door, all of this is crafted and scripted. So the first thing that I would remind you guys to do, because you're all serious and shit, is to smile when you knock on the door. I had to remind myself to do that. Because I used to be like, here to do business. Right? So you knock on the door, they open the door, you're like, hi, Aaron Novello, nice to meet you. Did you want me to take my shoes off? Why would I say that to them? Because I'm walking into their space. Just being respectful. And if they say yes, great, do it. I'm like, I didn't fucking want to do that, but fine. You know what I mean? But if they say, and don't have a hole in your sock, right? But if they say, no, that's cool, you're like, okay, great. What I'd like to do is take a quick look around the home. Would that be okay? Yes. Why am I doing that immediately? Nope. Taking control. Somebody's going to be in control. I want to be in control. Because if I let them be in control, there's going to be a little fucking dog running around. We're going to be sitting on the couch drinking tea, like nothing's going to happen. Right? How many people say to me, you sat on one of those couches, you're like fucking, yeah, it's a lovely home, yeah. Somebody's got to be in control. And they're like, no, that's cool, you can take a look around. Now what I want to start to do is I want to start to immediately start to close. You guys wait till the end to close. I don't know why. And remember, it takes 7 no's to get to 1 yes. So I want to get all those 7 in right away. So the first thing I'm going to say to them is like, well, you know, your home is really lovely, Chris. It's tastefully furnished. So I'm curious, when we have offers come in, are we going to be including the contents, or do you want to take that with you to your next destination?
Taking it with me.
Good. What just happened there? When who has offers come in? We have offers come in. It's called an assumptive close. Being assumptive is, yeah, I know. She was like, oh. An assumptive close, right? Being assumptive is a function of confidence, and confidence is a function of role play and practice. He's gonna be like, no, we want to take that with us. Okay, fantastic. And then he continues to show me through, and I'm like, yeah, you know, if I remember correctly, Chris, you were kind enough to share with me that you aren't planning on making any changes or modifications before I start to bring buyers through. You just want me to help you to sell it as it is, where it is. Is that right?
That's right.
What just happened? Close number 2, right? You just want me to help you to sell it as it is, where it is, right? So then we've done those couple assumptive closes, and now it's time to sit down. Again, you need to be in control. Okay, so what I like to do is like, we can go ahead and take a seat here at the kitchen table. That be all right? Because if you don't do that, you're gonna end up sitting on a little shitty couch somewhere, and it'll be awkward and weird, okay? Now, in terms of where I wanna sit where I'm the center. I want the people to be sitting here, right? So if husband and wife, here, so I can direct to both of them. If I'm sitting across from you, what does that create? An adversarial position. And there's a border and a boundary between me and you. I will say, first and foremost, I just want to begin our time together, Fatima, just by saying thank you. Smiling again. For providing me the opportunity to share some information with you and potentially help you with the sale. I always like to begin these conversations just by asking a few quick questions to make sure we're on the same page. Would that be okay?
Yes.
Perfect. So the first question I have, which I'm pretty positive I know the answer to, based on what you shared with me on the phone before we connected, you guys have definitely decided that you're going to sell the home. You're not interested in like holding on to it or doing something else with it. Is that correct? Okay, great. And then that leads me to my second question, which I'm also pretty sure I know the answer to, is you guys want to position the property price-wise to sell. You definitely don't want to give it away. That's for sure. At the same time, you don't want to have it sit on the market for like 6 or 7 months just testing the market. Is that correct?
Yes.
She said yes 3 times in a row. I know. Shit's a Jedi, right? And then that leads me to my third question. You know, I'm aware I sent you over some information in preparation for connecting. I'm sure you did some due diligence. You checked me out online. You saw track record and reviews. So have you and your family, have you guys already decided that you would like for me and my team to help you with the sale?
Yes.
Yeah, so she couldn't even help it. Like, as we're doing it, she's like, yes, yes. But what are we doing there? Look, 2 assumptive closes. Now I directly ask her if she's already decided to hire me yet. What do you guys do? Pick me, please, 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 please. Look at all my cool shit. Let me prove to you how cool I am so you could pick me. And we could be buddies. You see? Now, you're either going to say, what are her options when I ask her that question, by the way?
Yes or no?
Or?
Maybe.
Maybe. Listen, I love yeses, I love nos, I hate maybes. But I'm cool with either one because now I know what direction to take. You see, if you don't do this and you don't do a close right up front, you don't know what the hell's going on. Mm-hmm. When you ask up front, they might be like, well, we're not sure yet, we're going to talk to
the other agent.
Good, now I know that. Isn't it better to know that now than to know it at the fucking end? 100%. If they say, we're not sure, we want to think it over, cool, I know that, right? But if I don't ask up front, I want to get it out of the way. So we've closed 3 times. Remember, it takes 7 closes before we get to a yes, typically, on average. So let's say she says, no, directly, right to my face. I'm like, that's no problem. You know, I want you to make the decision that you feel is best. I want to be clear, that is my intention, Fatima. So provided that what I say makes sense and you feel comfortable and confident with me and my team, that we can help you get the most and do it quickly and efficiently, I have all of the appropriate paperwork with me, and I'm prepared to go to work for you today. Fair enough?
Yes.
Yeah. What happened there? She tried to tell me she's the boss. I'm like, no, you're not. Right? She's like, we're not going to do this. You know how many times people said, Aaron, I am not signing anything today. And I'm like, that's cute. I know you believe that that's true. Right? But I'm letting her know, like, that's my intention. And along those lines, you were kind enough to share with me that in terms of the selection process of an agent, you were looking for somebody that had a great track record, that had sold properties in this geographic area, had a really good marketing plan, and would communicate with you very well. Is there anything else you'd be looking to hear from me today that would cause you to feel comfortable and confident just to proceed and put me to work? 4 closes. Have I talked about marketing? Have I talked about commission? Have I talked about fucking that I know buyers in Venezuela? Which is horseshit, because you don't. Okay, so when I ask you that, you're like, is there anything else you would need to hear from me that would make you feel comfortable, confident to proceed from work? Tell me commission.
What's your commission?
That's a good question. And I'm more than happy to have a conversation with you with regards to that. So it sounds as though, provided that we check off all those other boxes and we're in agreement in terms of the professional fee, which I know we will be, it won't be a reason why we don't do business. I'm sure we'll come up with something that's mutually beneficial to all parties. Then we'll be able to proceed and go to work. Does that sound about right?
Sure.
Yeah, what just happened? What do you guys do when she asks about the commission? Shit your pants. Oh my God, that's what I didn't want them to ask me about. So you're like, okay, great. So at the culmination of our time together then, there are a few potential outcomes, right? The first, which we really seem to be moving in that direction, it's an assumptive close. We really seem to be moving in that direction is that you may decide to list your home with me. And by the way, when I say list your home with me, what is that? It's an embedded command. It's neurolinguistic programming. So when I say, at the culmination of our time together, there are a few potential outcomes. The first one is, which we really seem to be moving in that direction, is you may decide to list your home with me. Do you hear it now? Mm-hmm. It's like I'm commanding you to do it. Okay? And we're really excited to have that opportunity. You know, again, I have all the appropriate paperwork with me. I'm prepared to go to work for you today. The second potential outcome is there's an outside chance for whatever reason you may decide not to list the home with me. And that's okay too. Most of you guys would never say that out loud. And then that leads us to the third outcome. And this was just as important as the other two, is if for any reason at all, Fatima, if I feel honestly, truly, that I wouldn't be able to help you get what you wanted in the time that you wanted, I may decide to very humbly decline the opportunity to list your home. The reason I would do that is I'd much rather earn your business with integrity, being honest and straightforward about what's reasonable and realistic, versus promising you something I know is not going to happen and not be able to deliver. And any one of those three I feel comfortable with. Fair enough? Wow. What was that, what I just did there? Takeaway close! We pursue that with retreats. I'm demonstrating to you I'm completely unattached to this fucking outcome. Okay? I may decide humbly. Now, it's important how you do this. If you're like, I may decide not to take your shit, that's not gonna work. You know what I mean? Notice how I did it. Like, I may decide very humbly to decline the opportunity to list your home. And the reason I would do that, and I give them the reason, I'd much rather earn your business with integrity and be honest, straightforward with regards to what's reasonable, realistic, versus promising you something I know is not gonna happen, not be able to deliver. Any one of those three I feel comfortable with. By the way, how many of the agents that they're gonna interview are gonna say that to them? 0. Instantaneously. I remember being on a listing appointment, somebody's like, bro, we hired you because it felt like you were interviewing us instead of us interviewing you. Great, so what I'd like to do now is just review some of those questions I asked you over the phone, just to make sure that I'm fully prepared and I can do a great job for you and your family. Would that be okay? What is so I can do a great job for you and your family? We're already working together, right? Is that okay? You're like, yeah, that's great. Great, so you were kind enough to share with me that the main reason you want to sell the home, you guys are moving to Texas, is that right? Mm-hmm. Yep. And you were also kind enough to share with me that time frame wise, you really want to make this move happen in the next 120 days, is that correct? Mm-hmm. So what that would mean, I was thinking about this on the way over here, is that in order for us to make that happen in the time that you want, we would have to be under contract in like 30 to 45 days, because it usually takes 30 to 45 days to close. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense to you? Yeah. Are you gonna need some help or assistance as far as like finding a new property out in Texas? Would you want me to refer you an agent, or do you already have that under control? And then for showings, right? Like as we progress with this and with showings and stuff, like is someone typically home most of the time, or how does that work?
Yes. Somebody's going to be home at all times.
Okay, and that individual, would that be you or your partner, or who would it be?
It would be my mother.
Okay, awesome. And then for your mom, to make it convenient for her, we can make it like by appointment only? Or do you want us to call you first and then you'll let your mom know, or do you want to let your mom know?
Call me first. Okay,
great. And what's the best, absolute best number for me to reach you at? We're psychologically progressing it forward. People want to say yes. You just got to need them, give them a reason to say yes. And when we have offers come in as well, right? Do you want me to communicate them directly with you or with your partner, or how do you want that to work out?
With both of us.
Okay, and what's the best email address for your partner so I can send the offers to both you guys?
Yes.
As she gives me more information, what's happening? We're working together. Mm-hmm. You're consuming me more. We're moving in the direction. So now, that is from the time I hit the door, we haven't, to the time I start to actually present price. Guys, use these platforms. Don't use them to consume. Or just sit back and watch other people do it. You're on camera right now. They only see me on screen. I felt like I was around all